Welcome to the Virtual Realms YouTube channel. I'm Ranger 1. I was having another one of those nights where no matter how well you play, whether it's through circumstance or just luck of the draw and getting a bad team, no matter what you do, it seems to turn out wrong. Things would go south by the end of a match, and I was starting to get a little frustrated. I'll show you what I mean. I started out playing realistic battles with the Americans. Battles like this one on Kursk. I did pretty good on the ground and pretty good in the air as well, taking out some ground targets and getting to fly my little Mustang for really the first time in a ground forces battle. I was pretty excited at how this battle was going until I looked up and saw that as soon as I had taken to the air, we'd lost a second capture point. And, well, even though I held my own in the air too, we ended up losing that match. And then there was this one where I switched to Germany and the Hurtgen Forest. I had a great little encounter with these fellows. Just watch it. It started out playing Ring Around the Rosie with this Hellcat, and it got a little bit more intense from that point on. He knows if he can get behind me, I'm done. So we just have to make sure that doesn't happen. I've stopped him cold. I've damaged his turret, and he doesn't have anything left to fight back with. Makes for an easy kill. I got a little lucky there. Now the Tiger may be a little bit slow, but she has a lot of bulk and a fat butt. Sometimes you have to use whatever advantages you have to pull off a victory. I'm trying to get to the A capture point, but they're as thick as thieves up here. I almost missed this gun motor carriage, and he doesn't see me at all. We'll have to deal with him first before we can capture that point. It was a good effort on his part, but again, I'm not going to let him get behind me. That frees me up to head to the capture point. And things were going pretty good. We were about to capture all 3 bases until I got ambushed. You see, I didn't see that one last Hellcat in the area that slips up behind me, messes up my turret, makes it to where I can't turn around. And, yeah, this happened. As soon as I went down, the team started dropping like flies, and before I could do anything about it, we had lost this match as well. Very frustrating. So I decided a change of pace was in order. I don't get to do the events very often. This Normandy event intrigued me, and unlike many of the other events that I had tried to get into, I actually was able to get into it in a timely fashion. It had a fairly decent selection of vehicles to choose from, but it looked like fun. And I realized there are just times when you're playing War Thunder when you have to change what you're doing, try something completely different to break up a streak of bad luck you may be having. So let's give it a shot here. Now, I had been seeing a lot of people talking about how Germany was getting mauled again in everything that they tried to do. Realistic battles, arcade, otherwise. I hadn't really experienced that a lot, but I hadn't been running Germany lately, so that's why I've been in the Tiger a lot here lately. I'm wanting to find out just how true those rumors are that Germany is disadvantaged. And to be truthful, there may be some truth in that, but I think that Germany is still viable, personally. And I'm really out of practice running them. I don't run Tiger tanks very often at all. So I thought this would be a pretty fair test. It starts out like any other battle on the Normandy map, with everyone on both sides wasting time shooting at balloons to watch the pretty explosions. A lot of people are just easily amused. It's kind of funny, as much as people complain about aircraft and ground forces battles being overpowered, you would think they wouldn't purposefully eliminate what little defense they have against aircraft on this map, but I guess it makes sense to them at the time. This may not be the ideal vehicle for it, but my plan is to try and control the southern portion of this map. I want to sweep across the south, and I've got a teammate down here with me, and work my way over to the enemy spawn point and see if I can get in some good flanking and harassment fire on them. I really didn't want to go down around our capture point and battle them head on. The Tiger just really, it doesn't have the armor to stand up to close range, in-your-face brawling, especially against a lot of the American tanks. It does a lot better at range in open country like this. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to press forward, and I meet surprisingly little resistance on the way over. To be honest, I had expected to run into a lot of the faster American vehicles trying to use the same tactic against us, but it just didn't materialize. I'm going to stick primarily to the small country roads that wind through this beautiful map. The hedgerows provide pretty good cover along the roads, and it allows this big old Tiger tank to make good time in the direction I want to go. In fact, it isn't until I reach the fork in the road that I decide to go cross-country. My teammate in the Panther is cutting across in front of me, and I decide I'm going to support him, and vice versa, hopefully. And we'll cut across this open field and head almost directly toward the enemy spawn point. We push all the way into the enemy spawn point, and still no resistance. Not an enemy tank in sight. Well, that's okay. They're not dying yet. But we've got an excellent flanking position on them, most likely, and perhaps we can change that. We will continue to advance in the direction of their capture point, the A point, down on the beach, and see if we can turn the tide of the battle in our favor. So far, so good, but I have a feeling that to turn my bad luck around this night, well, it's probably not going to be easy. I'm going to have to expend a lot of effort in getting Lady Luck to smile on me again. It may sound a little bit silly, but I knew that the German military had always been masters of using flanking maneuvers like this with their tanks, and I was hoping that that would also pay off for me as well. You know, I really have to hand it to Gaijin. This map is gorgeous. Perhaps majestic is a better term. There's my first enemy. Put a shot into him. At first I think he's dead, but then he starts moving. I think he was camped out waiting for enemy aircraft to come over. But now he's making a run for it. First enemy unit down. So far this tactic is bearing fruit. You can't ignore these little gun motor carriages. They really are kind of a pain. They can do enough incidental damage to you to cripple you for the rest of a battle. Get off, fortunately in this case, without anything too severe being done to my tank, and take him out of the picture. The Panther and I are going to push forward and see if we can get a good line of sight down on the beach. Hopefully they are all congregated between our capture point and theirs. They've just made a play to try and capture our B point off in the distance, but apparently we have managed to fight them off and at least return that base to a neutral status. The Panther's already opened fire on something, and I don't have eyes on it yet. What is it? Oh, it's right in front of me. There's a Sherman down there. Go ahead and put one into his turret. Do good damage. He seems to be concentrating on the Panther at first, so I'm going to try and push forward, but all that does is draw his attention. That's okay. I can take shots from him a whole lot better than that Panther can. This Sherman driver knows that as well, so he turns his attention back to the Panther in an attempt to take him out before he dies. And that's when the shot comes in from behind me. I know I have to finish this Sherman off quickly. And I do. And I put him between me and whatever it is that's opened fire on us from the rear. I do take a hit to the engine, and that messes me up pretty bad. My vision is obscured by the smoke and flame coming up from the Sherman, but at least my ammo rack is fairly well covered. My commander takes a hit too. There's a Sherman. That's him. We'll critical him, put a shot right through his turret. He gets off one last shot that I barely avoid, and he blows up. That was kind of close. Now I've taken significant damage, and I'm going to have to be careful. I don't know where that shot came from. I wasn't sure if it was from in front or from behind. I can't get eyes on anything. Maybe whatever shot at me died right away. I don't know. But I looked at this replay and I can't figure out who shot me at that point. I'm going to move into the capture circle and see if we can't lock this down for the team. I'm in a tricky situation. I know that they're ahead of me in the direction of our capture point, but their spawn point is behind me and to my left. I've got this mound of sand here in between me and the front line, but I think it's more likely somebody's going to spawn in and come directly for me. Hopefully my team can capture the attention of whoever's over there pressing our base and hold it, and hopefully destroy them before they come back over to take care of me. My teammate in the Panther, Donnie, unfortunately got taken out while I was tussling with that Sherman by an American Mustang that did a ground attack run on him. I could have used his help. It's unfortunate. Okay, I've locked this one down. It's ours. And this is a break match, though, which means that that capture point is going to respawn in a different spot further inland. Great. I'm out here completely by myself. And now, to be of any use to my team, I have to fight my way back inland toward the center of the map. At least this time around my team is doing their part and they are recapturing B. So we don't have to worry about that. All I have to worry about is the fact that, well, I think I'm the closest one to the new A capture point. And I'm also, by far and away, the closest one to the enemy spawn point. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting trip. Plus, my tank's having issues. The engine and transmission is badly damaged, and I can barely move. There's an AA gun over on the other side of that rocky outcropping, but I don't have the mobility to go over there and take him out. We're just going to have to press on and see if we can get our damaged vehicle off the open expanse of this beach. I'm not even sure if I can make it up the beach, let alone anywhere else. I'm going to keep a wary eye on that ridge ahead and to my left. I saw gunfire come from over there, but I haven't seen any enemy vehicles materialize yet. And as I proceed up the beach, I do notice even more gunfire coming from the direction of the enemy spawn point. So I think what's happening is that they're spawning in, taking whatever shots of opportunity they can. Fortunately, they haven't seen me down here yet. But I think they're sweeping in the direction of their new A capture point. Well, that's all right. If their attention is on the airplanes overhead and all focused on movement, maybe I can slip in here at my snail's pace that I'm currently traveling at and actually get where I need to be. The town itself should offer me some concealment, and I'm going to work my way down the side streets here, hoping against hope that I'm not going to have anyone come up from behind me. It was a little nerve-wracking. In my previous matches throughout the night, this was about the point when things would always go south. My team would let me down, or someone would play very well on the opposite team and catch me unawares. Well, here's the critical corner. I'm turning back, putting my nose in the direction of the enemy spawn point, and there's open terrain ahead. I would have bet good money that I would see some of the members of the enemy team moving across here, or they'd be waiting for me as I rounded that corner, but it didn't happen. It didn't materialize. No one's in sight. So, although it makes my skin crawl, I'm going to turn my back on the enemy spawn again and continue to move in the direction of the capture point. I'll move along the road. That'll let me move a little bit easier, and I at least have this hedgerow to my left and the building to the right that will provide me some cover and concealment. There are still plenty of enemy players alive on the other team, so I am definitely expecting to see someone at any moment. I'm thinking they'll be to my left, but instead it's directly in front of me, poking out of the hedgerow, another Sherman. We will exchange fire, and I'm going to keep moving forward. Mostly because if I stop, I'm not sure I'm ever going to get this wreck moving again. Put it right through his ammo rack. And although I took him out, I, in the heat of the moment, wasn't entirely aware of that. But just to be sure, I attempt to put another shot in. Now he despawned right away, so that means he's rapidly spawning into another vehicle, most likely. A shell comes in from my right, and I ignore it. I've got teammates over there. I'm hoping that they are not going to let me down this time and that they will take care of whatever it was that fired in my general direction. Then again, knowing my luck, it could have been my own team. Anyway, the capture point's right here. I have just enough engine power to force my way into it. I'm fully expecting to see other enemy tanks already holding this spot, but so far nothing has materialized. I've got support to my right, and a lot of the enemy team appear to be in aircraft. As a matter of fact, a P-51 just took out a Panther that was right next to me. And artillery is coming in. But fortunately, this cap zone's big enough. Their artillery strike was off to the side, and I'm able to survive it. Now I can get my front in the direction of the enemy spawn. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I do have some halfway decent cover here. If my team can guard my flank and keep them from circling behind me, there goes that P-51, then we should be able to hold this point just long enough to win the match. I'll never get my machine gun on that fighter. So let me back up behind cover a little bit more. And we've got it. The match is ours. My streak of horrendously bad luck in these matches tonight is finally broken. So even though the night got off to a pretty rough start, it ended up okay. That's all I've got for you for right now. And until I see you again, good hunting. Thanks for watching. I hope you were entertained. If you liked the video, please remember to subscribe. And if you're already a subscriber, thank you. And I'll see you next time.